welcome to CMJ Live. It's me, your host, Charles Matthews, and it's Friday, so make sure you get out, have fun, kiss someone, tell them you love them. But I have a special show. You know all my shows are special, but this gentleman right now, if it wasn't for him connecting with me and some other people, it would not be possible. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Please introduce yourself.
Yes, Alexander Michael Gittens, strategist, speaker, and author.
All right, so funny enough,
yes,
we're gonna give you some background on how this all started.
Okay.
I was on LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
And I was flipping through, and I saw your profile.
Okay.
And I saw, you got a show, you're gonna be speaking, and just your picture alone, I thought, okay, this guy's he has something. I can see it. You can see it in there. So when I hit you up, you're like, yeah, I'm speaking, but you said I gotta talk to this person first, and then talk to this person.
That's exactly
so
what
you can
happened.
see how it rolled out, right?
Definitely.
So give us a little bit of background on you. So
Sure.
Are you a Bramptonian, Torontonian?
Okay, well, I have lived almost in every city along the 401, it seems. I have gone from Kingston to Windsor to Peterborough to Ajax, but now I've lived in Toronto for 10 years.
Okay.
So Toronto is the longest I've lived anywhere in my life. Yeah.
Okay, and what's your background?
My dad is Guyanese.
Okay.
And my mom was raised in St. Kitts, but she was actually born in Curacao.
Oh, okay.
And she is half Portuguese.
Hold on, bring that back.
Yeah.
Bring that back.
Okay, so let's rewind. Let's
bring that back. Okay.
My dad is Guyanese.
I got that part. Yes. Okay, yes.
My mom was raised in St. Kitts.
Raised in St. Kitts.
From the time she was 2 years old.
Ah, there we go.
But her mom, who was from Curacao,
right,
was Portuguese and black. Yeah.
So you got a good culture mixed there with food and everything.
I got it all. But my sister's got the looks. So, I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes, right?
All right, so that's my next question. You're one of two or?
One of three.
One of three.
So, Charles, my family is all women. So, all women. I have almost every one of my cousins are females. I have 2 sisters. My dad has 5 sisters.
Okay.
So, I know my place. Let's put it that way. I just like.
So you,
I fall back.
You and Dad are like the tag team, and you gotta, you're fighting.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
So growing up, where did you go to school?
So I went to school, primary school. Actually, fun fact, I counted the number of schools that I've gone to.
Oh, for real?
Including universities, there's 14 of them. There's 14 different schools I've gone to.
Schools.
Yeah, 14 different schools I've gone to. Yeah.
It's just bouncing around, do a subject.
Yeah.
How it works?
Junior kindergarten and kindergarten were in Windsor.
Okay.
Then 1 through 3 in Peterborough.
Okay.
4, 5, and 6 in Ajax.
Okay.
7, 8 was in Kingston. Then back to Ajax.
Right.
Then to Windsor.
Right.
Then to Detroit. Then to the.
Whoa. See, you can't just slip Detroit in there and then keep going.
You certainly have to pause at Detroit.
Okay, so hold on. Growing up, beautiful culture family, moved all over the place, but then you moved to the States.
Yeah, for school.
For school. Okay.
Yes.
And then you go to Detroit for how long you're there for?
Okay, so I was there for school for 1 year.
Okay.
But then I started working with the Detroit Lions organization. So I was bouncing back and forth between the border for about 4 years, back and forth.
All right, so you know everybody just perked up now. He said Detroit Lions.
No, they rolled their windows up when they heard Detroit. They locked their doors when they heard Detroit.
So you worked with Detroit Lions?
I sure did.
What'd you do?
Yeah. So I was providing strategic consulting to on-field promotions. So everything that happened on the field that wasn't football.
Yes.
So punt, pass, and kick, the FedEx game ball, the running of the flags, organizing the volunteers, the singing of the national anthem.
Yes.
Yeah, all of those things.
That must have been a great job.
Okay, so this is back in 2002, right? 2003, right? 0-16 Detroit Lions, 2002. So
besides the team,
right.
The job must have been phenomenal, though.
The coolest thing, I get home. I'm emptying out my shoes. I have all these little rubber pellets in my shoe.
Yeah.
Because what a lot of people don't realize about that artificial turf,
right,
it just has a ton of these other recycled tires or just rubber pellets to mimic the feeling of it being grass.
Okay.
If not, it would just be turf over concrete. So I get home.
Gives that little tiny bounce.
It sure does. And sometimes if you watch carefully in HD, when a baseball hits the field,
you see it bounce.
You can see that. Yeah, you can see that little
Yeah.
spray. So I get home and I'm emptying the little rubber pellets out of my shoes. And I'm pinching myself. I'm thinking I was just standing on the 50-yard line in my ill-fitting suit, in my church suit.
Yes.
Representing the team there and making sure that I took notes on the way things were running.
Okay, so then you left Detroit.
Yes.
And then where from there?
So my home was in Windsor at that time.
Okay.
And so then I came back to Toronto.
Okay.
At that point, yeah.
And then Toronto.
Toronto, right downtown, yeah.
Okay. So then the question is, in all that travel,
Mm.
where did you find the feeling that I'm a speaker? I gotta do.
Oh
this
my
is,
goodness.
This is where I gotta do.
Yeah.
Where did that come from now? Because what
Yeah.
did you study in school?
Business, finance, yeah.
Business and finance.
Yeah, and then strategy eventually, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So where did that I gotta be a speaker came
Yeah. Okay, so the important thing to know about me is two things.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I learned in life,
Yeah.
I learned the hard way.
Okay.
I learned everything in failure.
Okay.
And not just one failure, multiple failures. And the other thing I like to say when I'm speaking is the failures were all my fault. Because you come across a lot of people, they
Yeah.
have family situations that went wrong.
Yeah.
They had a sickness or an illness,
Okay.
or they had, some unforeseen circumstance.
Right.
I made bad choices. And as a result of those bad choices, I had to recalibrate my actions with my values.
Now I'm gonna cut you. I've never ever heard somebody say
Yeah.
it was all my fault. I did all the bad choices. Usually someone
Right.
says, "Oh, because I did
Right.
I did this." You're owning it to yourself.
Because it's true.
Okay.
I was the cause of my own downfall. And what it was is that I always wanted to be successful.
Right.
I always wanted to be what I thought was great.
Right.
But I bought into the Scarface equation. Money.
Yes.
So what is it? First you get the money.
Yes.
Then you get the power.
Yes.
Then you get the respect,
Right.
right? So
Right.
my whole goal was to do my little hustles, make my little money, and then, this was my hypothesis, once I am rich, once I have what I think people are going to look at and think,
Yes.
I've made it,
Yeah.
then I'll look at what impact I want to make. Then I'll start giving back.
Okay.
And that mindset, holistically, could have never been the breeding ground of anything positive.
Right.
Because I had put the cart in front of the horse, yes?
Right, because you were just
Yeah.
focusing on the money aspect
Right,
and not
right.
looking at,
Yeah.
the power. You thought that came with the money.
Exactly,
And then,
exactly.
But growing up,
Yeah.
we all look at that. You see it on TV.
Sure,
So you see
sure,
on TV, like when
sure.
let's go back. I don't know how old you are, but I'm gonna date
Okay,
myself.
I'll tell you.
I'm gonna date myself.
1978, brother.
Okay.
1978.
So you're in that era when
Yeah,
you saw like
yeah.
Miami Vice, when you saw all those
Oh,
people, they always
yeah.
had the flashy car,
Sure
they
did.
always had the business,
Sure
they had
did.
the full glass
Yep,
office.
yep,
That's
yep.
what our mindset is.
Absolutely.
Right? So then how did you change from this to now?
Yeah, well, here's a great thing that I learned. So when you grow up and you don't have the extras,
Okay.
when you don't have the newest pair of Jordans, or you don't have whatever the flyest gear is on the
Yes.
schoolyard playground,
Yeah.
you're thinking, when I get mine,
Right.
I'm going to get the whole thing. I'm going to
Okay.
get 19 pairs of shoes. I'm going to get 17 cars. I'm going to have this big house.
Yes.
And so one fortunate thing that happened for me is I'm from the pre-Instagram, pre-Facebook.
Okay.
So what my view of success was, I actually managed to get there by the time I was 24.
Okay.
Because I didn't know there was such thing as a $1,000 bottle of champagne and
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
that. So I had my humble version of success.
Okay.
I achieved it.
Right.
But now, Charles, I've got the success that I was pining after. And if I'm being honest with myself, I liked the one car I had. In fact,
Yeah.
when it came time to, the lease was up, time to get the next car,
Yeah.
I kind of liked the one I had already.
Okay.
And then I had the house.
Right.
Spent my time decorating it the way that I wanted, but I didn't want a bigger house. How do you know when you don't have much that you're going to stop wanting things
What's the
once you
rest?
get them, right?
Right.
So now I'm in a situation where externally, anyone who sees me, maybe I have a lot of the things that people would have yearned for. And I don't know. I don't want to project my values on other people.
Right.
But perhaps they would say, oh, he is successful. But I couldn't lie to myself. It's not that I was sad. I've never been a sad person. Frustrated,
Yes.
confused,
Yes.
unsure of myself, shy, introverted.
Yeah.
Yes, but never really unhappy.
Okay.
Right? So now I'm looking at myself and I can't lie. I don't know what I'm doing still.
Okay.
I now can go out to eat and maybe not have to pick what's on the menu based on what I have in my pocket. That was nice.
Exactly. Okay.
But other than that, I still didn't know how I was going to make a name, or I had success, but I didn't have impact. Yeah.
Okay. So then,
Okay.
So now that I'm glad you
Yeah.
put that down.
Yeah.
There's a difference,
There's a huge difference.
and this is what people need to understand. You can
Yes.
have all the money in
Yes.
the world,
Yes.
but you ain't doing nothing for the community. You're
It's
not
true.
doing
It's
out
true.
there.
It's
There's
true.
no impact. So how do you
It's true.
determine your impact to your money?
Great question. And I think, Charles, and you can speak to this here because I'm curious what you think. how do you give that message to a younger person? How do you
Right.
say to them who are coming from a situation like we did growing up, where we had to work really hard and we had 6 part-time jobs, and how do you say to that young person, no, what you're seeing on the gram, what you're seeing in these music videos, that's secondary to the impact. So I think about that a lot. I think about that a lot because I still get a chance to speak at some universities and some high schools as well. And I'm thinking, what can I say to tell someone who's thinking, I got to get that job, I got to get that life, I'm doing it for the gram? What do I tell that person? But back to your question. So the fundamental difference between the money and the impact is that if you get it backwards, so if money becomes the cause, then you can do what I did. You can take your eye off of the way in which you get there. Because I was never really a bad kid. Mischievous, talk in class,
of course,
don't work all that hard when I should have, never do my homework, never have a pencil. But I wasn't really a bad kid. But when I saw an opportunity to get a little hustle together, then I was thinking, all right, I'm going to do this because it's going to get me the money. But I wasn't thinking about the impact. So back to your question. If money is the cause, and it's not just a result of adding value, you're in trouble. I'll say it another way. Everything that I do, I ask myself, am I using my talents? And not my talents in isolation. Am I developing, am I fostering my talents? Number 2, am I operating inside of my passions? Not have I found my passion, have I cultivated my passions? Have I invested in them? And the number 3 thing I ask myself, are my actions in congruence with my highest values? So when my passions and my talents and my values are working synergistically together, I know if I'm doing the right thing, if they're creating the biggest positive impact for myself, the people I love, and the world around me. So what do I say to that young person that says, Alexander, that sounds great. That sounds great.
But I gotta make that money.
But what happened to that don't stop, get it? Like I want that too. I want the whole thing. What I would say is profit is not it's not the reason for delivering value. It's not the reason. Delivering value is the way to maximize profits. So if you have something people need and you're putting the whole of yourself out there, this is what I care about, this is what I do, and I'm adding, it will.
All right. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to dive into it. I want to get back into what he said. If you listen carefully, the talent, the passion, the action. That's what I want to get back to.
Greatness equation.
All right. We'll be right back. You're watching CMJ Live.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Discover the incredible India.
Hey guys, and welcome back. My special guest, please reintroduce yourself.
Yes, Alexander Michael Gittens here, strategist, speaker, and author.
Okay, so before we went to break, we talked about the talent, the passion, and the action. Okay, and then in your introduction, you're an author and you're a speaker.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so now where did you know? Because a lot of people say it's either in high school or a teacher told you or something. Where'd you know? Here's the 3 things. Where'd you find your talent?
Yes.
Right? Where'd you find your passion? And how did you know you had to do the action and go get it?
Man, you're asking some great questions. Okay, so you've heard that I don't believe that passion is something that you find.
Right.
It's something that you foster and you develop.
Right.
And whenever I think of talent, I think of 2 words. People and places. So if you want to develop your talent, I have to be with Charles in his studio. That's what it's people and places.
Okay.
So growing up, I was known for music. I was known for playing baseball. I had a chance to travel to Slovakia, Germany, Austria, Czech Republic. I went to all 48 lower states with my music. I was a bit of a child prodigy when I was young. I did some composition from the age of 8.
What were you playing?
Piano at first. Then I played a little flute, a little trombone.
Okay.
You know, from there. But I've always loved composition. That's something I enjoyed the most. So I'm young.
Yeah.
And I'm black.
Yeah.
And I'm a male.
Okay.
Right? I'm still 2 of those things. I'm still black and I'm still a male. I don't know about young.
You're still young.
I'm
You're still young.
I'm black and I'm a male.
Yeah.
I'm good at sports. And I'm good at music. And I live in at-risk neighborhoods.
Okay.
What do you think the focus was for me?
Of course.
With the teachers. And
exactly. They're pushing you to the sports and they're pushing you to music. That's straight.
But I got a mind.
Right.
I have my own thoughts.
Right.
But I wasn't really good at getting my words out. I would be thinking, Charles, about what I want to say.
Yeah.
Then the spotlight would be on me.
And it doesn't get out the way it wants.
For the next hour, all I'm thinking about is, you should have said it this way. You should have said that.
Yes.
So when you talk about me being an author or a speaker, it was certainly not something in high school. I mean, I was student body president.
Okay.
But the first time I spoke in front of the school, I mumbled for 5, handshaking, mumbling.
Yes.
So when I got off stage, I knew I needed to get better.
Okay.
So it got to the point where after I'd gone through legal trouble, I'd gone through financial trouble.
Okay.
It was good in a way. Like, don't go through it.
No.
Pay your taxes.
Yes.
Follow the law.
Yeah.
Don't go. It took me 10 years to rebuild my life. Don't go through that.
Okay.
But when I went through that situation, I realized the meaning that I was looking for, it was never there. I was able to ignore it because I had the outward success.
Got you.
So now I'm in a situation where I got to ask myself something that we all ask ourselves. I said I'm only 2 of those things. I'm still black and I'm still a male.
Right.
But now I'm a man. What kind of man do I want to be?
Right, because the opportunity of the sports is every day it leaves, and then the opportunity of music is still there. But now the industry is way tougher. When we were younger, we could have got in easier.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now I'm in this situation, and I decided, together with my partner, I said, I'm going to focus on being the absolute best business person I could be. Number 1.
Okay.
And then the number 2 thing, look how innocuously I had legal charges against me because I had the right goals and went about it completely the wrong way. Okay. So number 2, number 1, I'm going to be the best business mind I can be. Right. Number 2, never again am I going to make choices outside of my highest values. So that was the catalyst. That was the impetus. And the beauty of it, I knew that I didn't know because I tried it one way and look where it ended me up.
Right.
7 figures of debt, and now I got to start my life, my reputation, my business,
everything
all
over again.
Mid-20s, I have to start over.
Right.
So little by little, I started to say, okay, and it was just a hypothesis at the time. What if every client I have, I started off with $50 clients on a freelancing board. I put 20 hours. Someone at home, please do the math.
Yeah.
If I made $50 for 20, if I made $50 over 20 hours, how much did I make per hour with an MBA?
Yeah.
With an MBA. But I just told myself, what if I treat this client like the only thing I've ever done?
Okay.
And
give him the best of you, the best of the best.
And not just the best of me, because I'm always going to give my best when I'm across from a handsome gentleman who's interested in the things that I've been through.
Right.
But what about when no one's looking?
Okay.
Am I going to treat this one project like if this was the only thing that I did?
Okay.
I'm okay with the entirety of my legacy being described or being summarized by this one action.
Right, because I see where you're going with it, because a lot of time I feel that people will do their utmost 100% when there's a prize behind it, when there's somebody watching them or something.
Absolutely.
But if you give somebody the same project and say, listen, you have 2 months, you're by yourself, get it done, it won't be the same outcome because they're looking for their award at the end, the greatness at the end.
The validation, the external, and again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Use that as a motivation for action, but let your actions be guided by 2 things. Number 1 is that inside of your values, you're 100.
Okay.
But inside of your comfort, you're 0. So you want to do things where you're as uncomfortable as possible that you value the most.
Okay.
So now I'm back to your question of how do I become a speaker and
Right.
an author. So now I'm in this place where the only thing I know for sure is I had it all wrong.
Okay.
I owe a ton of money.
Right.
I've got to rebuild my life,
Yes.
rebuild my reputation.
Right.
And I've committed to the process of being excellent in incremental things that probably no one is going to see.
Right.
That's where I found my talent.
Ah,
I found
okay.
I'm a very good strategist. I'm proud to say that.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way until maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
My clients would say otherwise.
Yes.
But I had my own standards.
When,
and-
you have to feel it yourself.
yeah,
When people
yeah,
tell
yeah.
you did a great job, you should do this, this, and this, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
but until you really feel
Right,
it,
right.
that's when you know.
Right, and then you got to be careful when you feel it, right? Because then you're feeling yourself, and I'm back in the same. I got to be on your show again and explain
How you lost that one and started over
Remember when
again.
T.I. used to get in trouble and put out those songs, and you're
Yeah.
like, man, he changed.
Yeah.
And it would happen again.
Yes.
I would be the same except without the talent. Right? So
Okay,
so I have
okay.
to watch. I have to watch that. But what happened at that point? I realized what made me a decent baseball player,
Right.
what made me a good at composition and pretty good at playing piano,
Right.
what makes me a good strategist is one fundamental skill that I have.
Right.
And that's the ability to put abstract things together or seemingly abstract things in a synergistic way. So when you
okay.
feed me business strategy or you feed me business models like I have for my formal education,
Right.
and you feed me enough different permutations of working with companies, I've had 400 clients now.
Yes.
So they're learning from me, Charles,
Okay.
but I'm learning all about their business model. So
Okay.
I've just seen it all. Now,
Yes.
I've just seen every permutation of how things can go wrong and how it can go right.
Right.
So now I'm saying, man, I've been trying to be all of these things, but what I'm really good at is putting things together and in a way in which works better for people. So
Okay.
now I'm thinking, okay, I've never been a great speaker. I can't even spell.
Yeah.
I still can't spell.
Yeah.
But so I've never been a great writer
Yeah.
either. But
There's tools out there.
oh, definitely. And
Right.
you work hard enough at anything, right? You know
Right.
about hard work. I know about hard work.
Right.
So I don't even mention hard work because what can you do in life that's worth doing if you don't work hard?
If you don't work,
Yeah,
yes.
so I don't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Because if you need to know to work hard to achieve your goals, then you're listening to the wrong guy. That has to be like,
It's in your head.
Right,
It's
you have
got to
to-
be the first thing you think about. It's like, okay, if I got to achieve this,
right.
I can need to work hard, but at the same time,
Right.
I need to grab a mentor like
That's
yourself
that's
and
what's
then
up.
go
That's what's
full
up.
100.
You gotta say to me, when you approach Charles and I, you gotta say, gentlemen, I'm willing to work hard.
Yes.
I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to go through the pain, but I
Right.
need to know what I should do.
Okay.
Then you can get some gems
And
from us.
start
Yeah.
moving.
Then if
Right.
you don't start there,
Yeah.
if you start, well, you know what? I'm trying. No. Even that little head lean.
You're not ready yet.
No,
You're not
gonna
ready.
work. That's not
Okay.
gonna work.
So when did the book come out?
Okay, so the book is forthcoming.
Okay.
But what I do have is some pretty in-depth articles and essays,
Right.
and the most recent of which has gone viral and sort of led to all that's happening now. I didn't even
okay.
think I'd be sitting across from you or anyone.
Yes.
I have 3 media events this week. I wasn't even launching my brand until the fall.
Okay.
But I spoke at an event in Toronto, then U of T a couple times, and then McMaster,
Yeah.
and then a Make-A-Wish Foundation event, and the momentum started to go on
to
its
roll.
own. Yeah, and then
Okay.
we've got the conference coming up, and I've
Right.
got another workshop, 2 of them in the fall.
Okay.
So that should be fun
so
as well. Yep.
roughly when is
Yeah.
the book coming in?
Well, don't hold me to it, you know what I mean?
No,
Don't hold me to it, I mean.
The only reason I'm asking, because I'm putting it out there first. When this book comes out, you're
Right.
gonna be here. I want you to launch it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
putting it out in the universe. You know
Which
what I mean?
camera should I look into here?
Right there.
You can pre-purchase my book when I don't know when it's coming out. Just holler at Charles. He's going to
That's-
collect the money behind the building we're at right now.
That's right.
And you're going to get it when you get it. You know what I mean?
Because if you are like this, I know this book is going to be phenomenal.
I'm giving it my all.
So
I'm giving it my
I
all.
can feel it already. I know this
I'm
book is going
giving
to
it
be
my
great.
all.
So
Yeah.
I'm giving you
Yeah.
remember.
I'm giving it my all.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
ladies and gentlemen, if you think he's like this now,
Yes.
tell him you got a speaking engagement coming
Yeah,
up.
the speaking engagement is one thing.
Yeah.
But come to the speaking engagement and talk with me afterwards. I'm going to be
Okay.
on stage.
Yes.
August the 12th.
Yes.
So Discover Your Personal Brand is North America's largest branding conference, largest personal branding conference.
Yes.
It's happening right here in Toronto.
Right.
Right next to the Air Canada Centre, at the end of Bremner Street there at TELUS House.
Yes.
So we're going to have over 300 people there, over 50 different professionals that can help entrepreneurs,
Yep.
small business owners, or people that are saying, you know what, I just want to network and rub shoulders with some movers
Yeah.
and shakers. So I'm delivering a 1-hour workshop
Okay.
on crafting your greatness. I'm going to take you through the 3 steps that I followed to be able to turn my life around and the way in which I make all of my decisions.
Okay.
See, what I had wrong on top of all the other things was this weird belief that greatness is far away and it's big. What I've learned is it's not external and it's not in the future. It's me and it's now. So how do I make my decisions today to make sure that I'm maximizing my personal expressions of greatness? So that's what we're going to be talking about on the 12th.
So when you say the greatness is now,
yes,
you mean you need to get it now or you can perceive it now?
Oh, man, these questions, I tell you, these questions. Okay, so I used to think that I need to act in such a way that I will achieve greatness one day because I saw it as being at the end of a road. Yes. What I didn't realize is that when I talked about talents, passions, and values, whether I am speaking with, I mentor a couple of students there, whether I'm speaking with them at the reference library at Young and Bloor, or whether I'm at Discover Your Personal Brand, where there's hundreds of people who are listening, I ask myself, literally, and this is not a soundbite, I literally ask myself, what does my best mean in this situation to add the most value? I don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. It doesn't matter if there's one person, 10,000. It doesn't matter if I'm by myself. It doesn't matter if it's family or it's friends. How can I, being the maximum expression of my talents, passions, and values, create the biggest positive impact?
For that time.
I met Richard Branson. Richard Branson and I chatted for 20 minutes. I was just going to go up to him and say hello. And a lot of people are interested on, how did you meet Richard Branson? I'll tell you where I met Richard Branson. I was at the Rogers Cup in the Royal Box is where I met him. But more important is, how did I meet Richard Branson?
How'd you get to that point?
A young lady messaged me on LinkedIn and said, you look like someone who can help with career counseling. I haven't had a job in 20 years, but I mean, okay. Are you willing to go for coffee? I met with her. I asked myself the same question I asked before I sat down with you. What does my highest, best, and most deepest passions, talents, and values mean to add the most to our listeners, to you, right now? Did I know that she was in line to become the next business development director at Rogers Small Business? No. We never got into details about why she had asked me. But when she took the job, she said, hey, I'd love to have you as the guy. So now I'm in the Royal Box. Novak Djokovic walks by. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I almost want to come up with, what up, Novi? I come up with a nickname, you know? Like
you're in the box.
Like we peoples, right?
Yeah, you're in the box. Once you get in the box, you're okay.
And they told us, don't talk to the players. Don't touch the players. I would have done both. But good thing they said it. Then Richard Branson walks in. And I didn't even see him. The energy in the room changes when $1 billion walks in, right? So, I grew up in at-risk neighborhoods. I grew up in 2 of the 3 worst welfare areas in Ontario. I'm not waiting for someone. I walked right up to Mr. Richard Branson, and I told him I'd seen him on Cribs, and we were chatting. But Charles, here's the interesting thing. You know how I got there? By adding the most value I could when I didn't
When you didn't know.
But when I was talking with Richard, I thought we'd speak for 2 minutes. I mean, he's the CEO and founder of Virgin Airlines, Virgin Mobile, the rebel billionaire, the first guy that Obama vacationed with when he came out of office. You remember that? So I'm thinking, let me just say hello.
And then move on.
20 minutes later, he's grabbing my elbow. I'm hugging him. He's hugging me. And I realized something. I'm acting the same with him as I do with my clients. I'm not the same shy kid I was who couldn't speak up in class. Because I'm asking myself, with Sir Richard Branson, what value can I add? I'm not saying, give me a business idea. Let me tell you about your business. Can I take a selfie with you and all of that? And I would have wanted all of those things.
But you got to show the value while you're
there.
I
have one opportunity. But unlike before in my life, when I had that money, power, I knew what to do. In every situation, big and small, I ask myself, am I okay with this incremental action representing all I am and ever will be in legacy? That's when greatness happens right now. So you've given me the opportunity to be great today. I don't have to worry about where my career will go or what will happen. I get to do it right now. So now I'm not stressed anymore. Now I'm not panicked anymore. I'm just looking for opportunities to have the biggest impact. So if that means I'm good in front of a crowd of 5 people, and that's all my talent will be able to take me to, well, I'll get in so many multiples of 5 people. If that means that one day you and I switch seats, and I can have the charisma and all that it takes to do what you do, I'll switch seats. But I learned to communicate at a high level to add value. Not because I wanted to be a speaker or a writer. I have no interest in either. but I can give more value if I communicate at a higher level.
All right.
So I'm learning.
We're going to take another break, and trust me, you need to come back to get more value in your life with this gentleman right here.
Here we go.
We'll be right back on
Here we
CMJ
go.
Live.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Okay, we are back, and now we were just talking off air about the values and everything. There's something that I love that you said is that it doesn't make a difference if it's 5 people in a room, 10 people in a room. You got to do it.
Absolutely.
You just got to do it.
Absolutely.
So then let me ask you this, because I always ask everybody their first goofs and their most experiences. Your first time on stage.
Yes.
How was that like?
Horrible. Horrible. Let's talk about my first time on stage as an athlete, as a musician, and as a speaker. All horrible. So as a speaker, I mumbled for 3 minutes straight.
Okay.
And I didn't have any charisma.
Yeah.
Like I had no swag.
Yeah.
I had written out every word of my speech.
Okay.
My hands were shaking so much.
Yeah.
First of all, can't nobody read my handwriting, not even me.
Okay.
And now I got this shaky hand going.
Yeah, and it's
so
going
come
all
on.
over.
And so I mumbled,
Okay.
right? The only good thing was no one really said anything to me after.
Okay.
So I was able to convince myself it was just a dream.
It was okay.
I'm like, this didn't really happen.
Okay.
Someone would have said something. Okay,
Right.
so that was as a speaker.
The speaker, yep.
As an athlete, I remember the first time that I shot free throws in a game with like a real crowd and all of that, right? I mean, my arms were just jelly. I'm thinking, in your driveway, you've been making free throws your whole life. But I felt like Shaq out there, not during the game, just at the free throw line. But I actually made both of my free throws, but they hit every part of the rim. But I just couldn't believe the way my hands were.
You're right.
Just and then as a musician, so I started in classical music, and then I moved to contemporary. But my first recital, I didn't know. I mean, it was like half were Asian, half were white, and then there was me, right? And so my parents are there. They don't know Beethoven from Brahms, right? Like, I mean, we're just there because we're there. So I go to play, and you're supposed to have memorized the piece, right? Okay. So I walk up without my book, and I had no clue. I'm sitting at the piano, I'm thinking I should probably play something, but I don't have any idea what I'm supposed to play.
You're just gonna put the fingers.
So I walked back to my parents. Well, I think it was just my mom there, and I opened the book and I looked at it. I went back and I was able to play it once I started.
Oh, okay.
But yet again, I just
hold on, wait. So you actually came off stage.
Of course. You're saying a stage, but it's a room. Like I'm 8. I'm 7. I'm 8.
Yeah. So you just came down and do what you got to do.
You're picturing some kind of spotlight. It's
but
like,
listen, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, you had the crowd going, you had the whole thing. So this is like the young age of it just getting into.
But let me tell you about the second time though. So what I did was I had a piano teacher that scared me. Okay. She was old. She was crutched. She looked like something out of a Dickens novels, right? She was a caricature of whatever you think an old piano teacher is. Okay. So I was afraid of her. Okay. But she used to have her milk delivered to her house in bottles. I'm talking like antiquated.
She's old school.
She's Jurassic.
Okay.
So what happened was while she was getting the milk one day, I started just playing on the piano a composition that I had come up with. Okay. Now she knows classical music like my nephew knows his primary colors, right? Right. So she came back and she was saying, "What is that? I've never heard that before. What is that?" I said, "I just kind of made it up myself." Yeah. And she said, "Okay, we're putting that on the program for the recital." Nice. So I didn't know. And she asked me what the name is. So I called it Twilight. I said, I don't know. So now I go to the recital. Yeah. Now I'm 9 now. I'm a little bit older now. Right. And it was at my parents' church, that recital. Okay. So I was a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, you have more
I
friends.
knew where I was
you
at,
have more
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were families and parents a little bit more diverse. We're in Ajax now, so a
Right.
little bit more diverse. It wasn't just the homogeneous thing that I grew up with. So now I get up there and I play my composition.
Right.
My piano teacher, who I thought hated me, I thought she hated me to my core. Like, I thought she could see my sins, and she, like, prejudged. Anyway, so I get up there and I play the song, and people clap politely. They're just waiting for their child to perform.
Right.
And then my piano teacher, who I thought hated me, she gets up and says, "I don't know if you saw the name." And my government name is Michael Alexander Gittens.
Okay.
So she says, "I don't know if you saw, but it's Mike Gittens who composed that piece."
Okay.
Now you hear the oohs and the ahs from the parents.
You're right.
So one guy at the back yells encore.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, this is good.
Yes.
Like, I knew enough to know that was good.
Yeah.
So she said, my piano teacher said, "Well, let the other people finish first.
And then he'll bring him
Then
back
we're going to
on,
bring you
bring
back
him
out."
on.
But this is where I had my inner Charles come out, right? This is where my little showmanship
Yeah,
came out.
yeah.
Because what I did at that point was I said, you know what? I've got this dope arrangement of Chariots of Fire where I use every one of those 88 keys, not just
Yeah.
that little thing that I did while the milkman was there,
Okay.
right? So when they called the encore, I just did my thing, and I
Okay.
bust my Chariots of Fire, and I
Yeah.
showed them what I was working with.
Okay.
That's when I got my first standing ovation when I was 9, and I actually did an encore of the Chariots of Fire.
Right.
So
Because you saw the opportunity.
I saw it.
You
Yeah.
went back in. You didn't play the same piece. You said, well,
No.
if I fail on this one, at least I gave it my 100% and showing them something what I can
That's
do.
That's right. But I just kind of sensed, I'm like, I like this. I picture people running. Like, I like
yeah.
that. And I
Yeah.
figured, but here you've got suburban parents living their dreams for their kids through classical music when they don't
Right.
know the difference between Bach and, like, Schubert either.
Yeah.
But now they hear something that they actually recognize.
Okay.
So the dads that were sleeping at the back are now waking up, and
Right.
so that was a standing ovation. So I learned two things. Number one is if you follow your instincts,
Right.
things go well.
Okay.
And I learned that while I love music, I don't truly love performance. I don't truly love performance because even though I was happy that things went well,
Yeah.
people's enthusiasm was greater than my own. I thought it was great, but I didn't think I was anything special. Like it's.
So then
yeah,
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And I love to hear when you realize what you've gone through and where you are.
Yep.
So if you can go back in time, okay?
Yes.
You hit the button, you go back in time.
Okay.
What would you say to the younger you, knowing what you know now? Would you change anything?
No.
What would you say?
I certainly wouldn't change anything. But I was asked recently in another interview about if I was in a parallel universe, what would that AMG be doing? And that's when you have to either, I don't know if it's luck or blessings or serendipity or coincidence. You can unpack it however you want. But a lot of people look at the fact that I moved around a lot as being a negative. I never had roots down. I couldn't keep consistent friends.
Right.
But because I started off so shy and so reserved, and I was an odd kid, right? Like I like ballet and I like hip hop. I like opera music and I love like contemporary music. I love rock music, all the above, right? So I never fit anywhere. And most people feel like they didn't fit anywhere.
Right.
I was pretty sure I didn't. I knew I didn't fit anywhere. But when you move around a lot, it gives you a chance to kind of start your friendships over and meet new people.
And get a different perspective, right.
And because of rezoning, when we moved from Ajax to Kingston to back to Ajax, I actually had some people, even though we're in a different side of the town, I had some people in my high school that I went to elementary school with.
Okay.
Now, inertia would have had me still be friends with those people if I had stayed there.
Right.
But because I went to one of the best high schools in Ontario, it was right on Queen's campus there.
Right.
For the first time in my life, I was around a whole different caliber of people, and part of my abilities came out that I'd never seen before. My grades went up, my attention went up, because I was around an environment where being a great athlete, being an artist, and being successful at school was what made you popular and cool.
Okay.
You've been black, you've grown up, you know, and none of my friends were ever like, look, that math test you did on long division, whew, son.
You aced that, man.
You know what I mean?
Like, give me some props.
You know what?
You aced that test.
Take my lunch, because your long division game is strong. And that never happened to me.
Right.
But in this school, when I did presentations and they went well, people were like, whoa,
That was
you killed it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm playing soccer still.
Yeah.
But people seem to care about the classroom too.
Okay.
So I put whatever
you put the effort
whatever
in.
you reinforce.
Yeah.
You know, even with children, with adults. You know, what does psychology say? Reinforced behavior gets repeated. Right.
Okay.
So when I go back to Ajax now, those friends, they were the smartest people who did the least amount of work. Those were the friends that I had. Like, I loved really smart people, witty people.
Right.
But none of us were into schoolwork.
Okay.
So now when I go back to Ajax, I still had those friends, but I had changed. So being able to redo, so if my dad hadn't got called into the ministry,
Right.
if my parents hadn't had to move so many times, maybe, like I said, just the momentum of I would have. So I was just lucky. I was just blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was one bad decision away from being a statistic. So
Right.
I got lucky. I screwed up at the right time, the right way, and all of that. So yeah.
So what we haven't done, because I know everybody's so excited, I can see Instagram blowing up.
Okay, how do I see that there?
Give them a phone number where they can contact you.
Yeah, okay. So if you're going to text message me, 416-565-6020. And the good thing is that I've taken careful attention to make sure that you can find me anywhere.
Okay.
So if you go to alexandermichaelgittens.com,
Yeah.
then you're going to see my Instagram, you're going to see my YouTube, you're going to see my Twitter.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I have people. I've got my man Charles here. He's easier to find. I mean, he's easier to find than me. So if you just say, hey, you know, he'll give you the link. And vice versa.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
But also, I want people to come see you. So August 12th,
Yes.
2013.
Yes.
It's a beautiful 1-hour workshop.
Yep.
And then tell them that one more time, because
Okay.
the thing that people don't understand is
Yeah.
that you have to put time in yourself.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
when opportunities like
Yep.
this come around, and a gentleman like you that's been around the block, learn all these things,
Yep.
even if you take that one time, that spend that
Sure,
money, take
sure.
that time, and just sit there and listen,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Because with certain things I've been listening to what you're saying, and I'm taking away. I always write notes every show.
Yeah,
okay.
I can read them too. Not like my writing. Yeah.
I take away that your greatness is now.
It is.
Okay, and I was like you, and I think part of me is like that. I'm always thinking of growing up in my culture that what do I leave my legacy at? What do I leave for my kids?
Yeah.
But listening to you, I realized that if I'm gone tomorrow, what was it that I left behind? What was my legacy behind? Don't think of longevity.
No.
Every day that you do something for us, it should be another stepping stone to your legacy.
You got it.
So so please tell them one more time. August 12th, 2013. Tell them about your workshop.
I am a unbelievably good reason to attend any event.
There you go.
If I am speaking at an event, you should go because I'm going to give it my all. But this particular event,
yes, it's big.
This particular event,
Yeah.
even though I'm going to be there, I'm not even the headlining act. When you come to this conference, there is going to be 50 different professionals there. There are keynotes, there are workshops. So while I can't wait to speak with you, if it was me alone, it'd be worth the price of admission.
Right.
But you are getting so much more. You're getting people that I look up to, people that I take content from and I learn from there. And there's mentor workshops there.
Yes,
so I will be around at lunchtime. You can talk with me. You can
Right.
speak with the other incredible panelists and content deliverers and all of that. So it starts Friday, the 11th.
Right.
At 5 p.m.
Right.
And you can register right now on dypb.ca.
Right.
Or just contact, and actually, if you go to any of my material, you can click through to the link there. There's a flyer there on Instagram, Facebook, and all of that.
Right.
But you're going to show up on Friday at 5 o'clock.
Right.
There's going to be a great opening, a great keynote. You're going to get fired up. You're going to come back on Saturday now, and you're going to pick the workshops that work best for you. There's going to be even a pitch competition there.
Yes, I remember.
Real business people will be pitching for real money.
Right.
So what Charles said is exactly it. I have spent unbelievable amounts of money in my young life on ridiculous things.
Right.
Things that I have no value.
Yeah. Well, growing up, we wanted to buy this, buy that, buy
Want
this.
to? I did. I bought it, lost it, and tried to get it again.
Okay.
Lost it and learned. And then lost it and learned.
Lost it and learned again,
right. I missed one of those. But the point is like, the price is unbelievable. You're paying less than $50 a day there. Talk to me. I'll make sure that you get a discount code so you can come. And if money is an issue, write me why you should be there.
Right.
Take time and show me I'm a student. And don't use pity. Don't use pity. Tell me what's good, right? I have my own problems. Tell me what's really good. And I will bring you there as my guest.
There you go.
If you give me a compelling reason why you can't pay.
All right, so give him the phone number one more time.
Okay, so my phone number, this is for text. Don't call me. This is for text message only. I don't answer numbers I don't know. Don't call me.
I paid my taxes already, right? I don't know you. Okay.
10 years ago, I didn't answer any number. 800 numbers?
No.
Text me, 416-565-6020, or just look for Alexander Michael Gittens. Gittens like mittens, just put a G on it. Oh, that's kind of good.
Yeah, you like that.
Put a
G
on it. OG. Okay, so 416-565-6020. Contact me. I mean, if you're down, I'm by the CN Tower area. We'll do coffee. We'll chat. I'm accessible. You can get a hold of me.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV Network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Hey guys, and welcome back. We only got a few minutes left in the show, but earlier he was saying that he met
Richard Branson.
Okay, and that's the ultimate...
Yes, Sir Richard Branson.
That's the ultimate one shot. Now, here's a question I'm going to ask everybody. We have one shot in life.
Okay.
We have that one moment, that one thing.
Sure.
Now, we all get into it. You know what I mean? You know, you see a star, you want to grab a selfie because you want everybody to know that you met this person, or you want to get this autograph or get this thing. Yeah. But you didn't do that.
No.
You didn't take that opportunity and waste it, right? No. Opportunity doesn't come and go like that. Like you were saying earlier before in the break, you have an opportunity now. How do you use it? How do you bring it up? Tell us that.
Yeah, it's a great question, because if you unpack it a little bit further, when you look at meeting a Sir Richard Branson, the rebel billionaire, the founder of a Fortune 500 company, when you look at that as being your one shot, you've now missed the larger picture, which is achieving greatness. Okay. Remember I talked about you and now.
Right.
So now I happen to be on a show being streamed live over the internet, being recorded for consumption later on YouTube, etc.
Right.
So this is my now. I'm the oldest I've ever been, hopefully the wisest that I've ever been at this moment.
Right.
But I have in my life infinite collections of moments. So when I was with Richard Branson, I had already decided how I was going to live. I had already practiced it. See, most people, through no fault of their own, in fact, studies show, psychology shows us that 50% of your worldview is in place by the time you're 5 years old. So sometimes we're making decisions that have been made by the environment we're in, the stories we were told, and all, and we don't really realize.
Okay, so say that part again.
Okay, so here we go. Studies have shown that 50% of the way in which you view the world, your worldview, is in place by the time you're 5 years old.
Wow.
5 years old.
Right.
So that's why change is so difficult. If someone's in a bad situation and you're thinking, man, why won't you just make the hard change to get out of there? Because for some people, it's more difficult to think about
doing something
even
different.
though they don't like where they are.
I got you.
Even though they don't like where they are.
Is that when people say, like yourself, get out of that job, go to your future, jump out of the job? We can't do it because we've already said, oh, I have to do this, and I have to do this, I have to do this.
And I won't say don't do that.
Yeah.
I never tell someone to break up with their boyfriend or girlfriend. I never tell someone to leave a job. Because they're gonna mend the relationship 6 weeks later, and now you're on the outs. I'm like, I don't do that. I'm like, stay together. Make it work. No, I'm just being silly. But the point is that if I had looked, or if I had prepared for my moment, I get this one shot. Every moment is an opportunity for me to live my high. I got to Richard Branson because I was willing to meet with someone where there was no profit motive. No one saw. And the fact that I'm speaking about it now is crazy because it was such an innocuous conversation.
It's a chain reaction.
It was just part of me doing what I do.
Right.
Last night I had clients from Kuala Lumpur that I was meeting with. And right now, because of daylight savings time, we're exactly 12 hours difference.
Okay.
My third media event for the week. I work 90 hours a week normally. And this week I've got meetings with the conference. I've got meetings with my brand. And all of that. This is an 110-hour week for me. My voice has been tough. My trainer is out of town. I'm complaining, which is something you shouldn't do. But I'm telling you, I was not at my best.
Okay.
But last night, when those gentlemen started telling me about what they were doing with the ideas we were generating, it just reminded me all over again. This is a startup halfway around the world.
Right.
No one who even speaks English or will care. But I have the opportunity, and I had to think that way, Charles. It wasn't, it's more automatic, but I had to remind myself, you want to be great, you want to achieve incredible things, this is where you prove it. So rather than living each day like it was your last, live each moment as an emphatic declaration of everything you are. I am giving all that I have. And that might, that might disappoint some people to say, oh, I thought he had more than that. Nope, this is it. This is it. But I'll get better. Because I'm practicing applying my all to each situation.
And
that's how I look at it.
I love what you just said. You are still growing.
Absolutely.
You're still practicing.
Work in progress.
Not everybody has it. People always think, they're on top. But even the top stars are always going to the next level, always is growing.
Absolutely. We all know that one-hit wonder. They start feeling themselves as a man in their hood, and we never hear from them again. Or we've all bought that second album, and we can tell the production isn't there.
It's different.
The stories aren't there, and we're thinking, come on. You know? And you're a musician, I'm a musician. We know that you have 20 years to make your first album, and 2 years to make your second album, so we know,
because if you don't, you fall out of love. People forget who you were and all that stuff.
And we're saying 20 years to make your first album because you're bringing all of your experiences to that first record.
Exactly.
Not that the record label gives you 2 decades.
No, they don't. It's in and out, and that's I'm glad that you use that analogy because there's sometimes you have this opportunity, and they're only giving you short time. Okay, here it is. Here's your contract.
Absolutely.
You only got this short time. What are you going to do with it?
That is such a great point. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. So you've given this one opportunity.
The
pressure is on. What happens when pressure is on you? You default to whatever behavior that you're used to. Because instinct, your short-term reaction, whatever happens neurologically in your brain, your instincts can only do one thing. If you touch something hot, you're not saying, you know what, I'm going to pull away. Nah, that's just what I do when I touch something hot. It's an instinct.
It's an instinct.
So if you've practiced like what I try to do, and I say I try to do because it is a work in progress. I'm not saying that to be humble. I'm not a humble person. I want to add value, so I'm very intense about that. But I have practiced how can I add value. So when I went up to Richard Branson, I remember thinking to myself, how cool is this? I saw this guy on Cribs with Mariah Carey. This is so cool. And I went up to him. But because I do this day in and day out, I wasn't thinking of how I could extract value. So now you're Richard Branson. You're a billionaire. You've got people coming up to you all day long. I want a photo. What should I do with my business? Tell me about your business. What are you investing in? Now a young black dude comes up to you and says, I've seen you before. Weren't you the one blocking the picture of Mariah Carey when she was in the bed? He's like, yeah, that was a pretty hard day. I'm like, I'll switch places with you. I said, and we were laughing, and then I started talking to him about future nostalgia and some ideas that I was. We were just sharing ideas. But at the end of the day, I couldn't just approach a billionaire out of nowhere. If 10 years before, when I was sitting with 7-figure debt, 52 counts of copyright infringement hanging over my head. If I didn't make a decision together with my partner, who was just off camera there, if I didn't make a decision to actually live my values in every situation, and where it's taking me, the peace, the joy that I didn't think that I needed.
It's there now.
Are you kidding me? Like I'm the most me now. I don't have to prepare to what. It's been a joy.
Well, listen,
it's been a joy.
We're almost out of time. You're on CMJ Live, and we do one thing.
What's that?
This is your opportunity. It's called the shout out.
Shout out.
So this is your 30 seconds of fame to shout anybody and shout out.
Can I do it Detroit style?
Listen, this is your 30 seconds.
I can do it Detroit style?
Yeah.
Okay, what's good? What's good? They're your boy AMG from downtown Toronto. Holla at me, City Place, the only place. You know we never a disgrace. Want to say what's up to my boy Chuck in here. Bring me the best of luck. I'm going to see y'all on August the 12th.
There you go. Oh, my goodness.
D-Child, I hope I did you proud.
All right. Listen, You got to get to the show. I'm going. I'm trying to get down there because I want to see this. I want to see you. I want to see all of them. So make sure you go there August 12th, 2013. Make sure you go to his website, his phone number. He says he's going to be there. Listen, thank you so much for watching CMJ Live. Have a great week. We'll see you on the next show. See you later. Oh, man, that was
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.